Good morning, students. Welcome to 10th class. We'll begin our chapters in 10th class with the civics book. But before that, you need to remember that all the lessons that we are going to study in 10th class are just an extension of what you studied in 9th class. In 9th class in civics, you have learnt about the basic fundamentals of democracy. Of course, you read about other forms of government, but world over, the most popular form of government is democracy. Why is democracy better? That also you studied in 9th class. But now, this year, we are basically going to focus on democracy and its application. And as you know, the soul of democracy is power sharing. Now, what is the meaning of power sharing? That which is the first chapter of our civics book this year. So, to start our tour of democracy, let me make you understand the meaning of power sharing. The term is made up of two words, power sharing. अब इस पावर वर्ड का मतलब क्या है? Here the word power means the power to take final decision. ये जो फाइनल डिसीजन लेने की पावर है, ये किसके हाथ में है? Do you remember the lesson of Hitler last year? He alone had all the power of taking decision. So what did we call that form of government? That was dictatorship. And in modern world, there is no place for dictatorship. So now this term power sharing has become very important. During the study of this chapter, with the help of two countries, that is Belgium and Sri Lanka, by understanding how power is shared in these countries, what happens when power is shared, और जब कोई पावर शेयर करने से मना कर देता है, तब उस कंट्री में क्या होता है? With the help of the examples of these two countries, we'll take our lesson forward. So let's start the lesson power sharing. So to begin our chapter, as I said, with the help of the example of two countries, that is Belgium and Sri Lanka. First, let us know about these two countries. First, Belgium. Remember, दोनों देश डेमोक्रेटिक हैं. अब डेमोक्रेसी में भी पावर शेयरिंग कैसे होती है, ये हम यहाँ समझेंगे. तो चले, सबसे पहले चलते हैं बेल्जियम. Belgium is a very small country in Europe. ये हमारे हरियाणा से भी छोटा है और इसकी पॉपुलेशन भी बहुत कम है. But being a democratic country, how they are doing power sharing there, let's find out. Belgium shares its boundaries with four big countries, that is France, Netherlands, Germany and Luxembourg. ये चारों neighboring countries हैं. The population of Belgium is just over 1 crore. But the main thing that we have to understand about Belgium is its ethnic composition. What do you mean by ethnic composition? It means Belgium में कौन कौन लोग रहते हैं. See, being a European country, most of its population is of Christians. तो religion के नाम पर तो वहाँ कोई diversity नहीं है. फिर diversity किसकी है? Language की. The population of Belgium has basically two language groups, Dutch and French. As you can see in the map below, that's the map of Belgium, it's divided into two parts. Flemish region is in green color and Wallonia region is in orange color. Now, talking about the population, Flemish region has 59% of population. जो टोटल पॉपुलेशन है बेल्जियम की, उसकी 59% पॉपुलेशन फ्लेमिश रीजन में रहती है एंड दे स्पीक डच लैंग्वेज. Another 40% of the population that lives in Wallonia region and they speak French. तो कितने हुए टोटल? 99%. And remaining 1% they speak German language. So, but two important language groups, that is Dutch and French. ये तो composition हुआ country का. Now talking about the capital city Brussels. Can you see Brussels there? That is in Flemish region. Now capital city की जो total population है, out of that total population 80% people speak French and 20% people speak Dutch language. This was the composition. Now what you have to understand here, that two language groups, no problem. But समझना क्या है बच्चों, पूरी कंट्री में अगर पॉपुलेशन देखी जाए तो डच की मेजॉरिटी है और फ्रेंच माइनॉरिटी में है. बट इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द कैपिटल सिटी ब्रुसेल्स, वहाँ 80% फ्रेंच है और 20% डच है. तो किसकी मेजॉरिटी हुई? फ्रेंच की मेजॉरिटी. तो कंट्री में डच स्पीकिंग पीपल की मेजॉरिटी है एंड कैपिटल सिटी हैज द मेजॉरिटी ऑफ फ्रेंच स्पीकिंग पीपल. Now moving forward with our lesson, French are in minority in Belgium, but they control most of the resources in the country. इसका मतलब कंट्री के जितने भी रिसोर्सेज हैं या जो रिच कम्युनिटी जिसे हम कह सकते हैं, दे आर फ्रेंच. और जबकि डच हु कॉन्स्टिट्यूट अ लार्ज नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, दैट इज 59%, उनके पास रिसोर्सेज कम है. नाउ डच आर बेसिकली द नेटिव्स ऑफ बेल्जियम, जो वहाँ पर रहते हैं. तो नाउ डच आर नेटिव्स, दे लैक एजुकेशन. इट मीन्स दे आर लेस एजुकेटेड. अगर पूरा ग्रुप देखा जाए तो लेस एजुकेटेड देन फ्रेंच. फ्रेंच आर लेस इन नंबर but they are more educated and are rich in comparison to Dutch. So what happened in 1950s and 1960s? There was a tension between Dutch speaking and French speaking communities. Dutch people चाहते थे, क्योंकि वो मेजॉरिटी में है. Remember children, डेमोक्रेसी को एक और नाम दिया गया है मेजॉरिटी रूल. जिस देश में जिसकी मेजॉरिटी होती है वही उस कंट्री को रूल करते हैं. दैट इज द बेसिक फंडामेंटल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. तो देखा जाए तो बेल्जियम में किसकी मेजॉरिटी है? डच स्पीकिंग पीपल की मेजॉरिटी है. लेकिन रिसोर्सेज पर कंट्रोल किसका है? फ्रेंच स्पीकिंग पीपल का है. तो इस बात को लेकर देयर वाज अ टेंशन बिटवीन डच स्पीकिंग पीपल and French speaking people. The tension continued for many years. और ब्रुसेल्स की अगर हम बात करें, which is the capital city, वहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम उल्टी हो गई, क्योंकि कंट्री में मेजॉरिटी किसकी है? डच की. और कैपिटल में मेजॉरिटी किसकी है? फ्रेंच की. अब जनरली देखा जाता है कंट्री पर रूल उसका होता है whoever rules the capital. So who was ruling the capital? The French were ruling the capital. But who were in majority in the country? The Dutch were majority in the country. So this was the problem in Belgium. अब हम बेल्जियम को यहीं छोड़ते हैं और हमारे नेबरिंग कंट्री चलते हैं श्रीलंका। श्रीलंका जो सेंचुरीज से हमारा नेबर रहा है। श्रीलंका के अगर हम कॉम्पोजिशन देखें, वो भी एक डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री है एंड इट्स एन आइलैंड कंट्री just few kilometers away from southern coast of Tamil Nadu. Now the total population of Sri Lanka is nearly 2 crore people, just the double of Belgium. Now out of the population that is 2 crore people, two major languages form the basic groups in Sri Lanka. Two languages spoken by the people. One is Sinhala language, that is the native language of Sri Lanka, and the other one is Tamil. तो श्रीलंका में दो लैंग्वेज ग्रुप हुए. One is Sinhalas and the other one is Tamilians. Now the Sinhala speakers in Sri Lanka are 74% and the Tamil speakers in Sri Lanka are 18%. सिहिलास अपने आप में एक कंप्लीट ग्रुप है 74% का, लेकिन तमिल्स डिवाइडेड है. किस तरह से डिवाइडेड है तमिल्स? आउट ऑफ द टोटल 18% तमिल्स, 13% तमिल्स आर द नेटिव श्रीलंकन पीपल. दे स्पीक तमिल लैंग्वेज एंड द रिमेनिंग, that is 5%, they are those Tamilians who had gone from India in search of work or as a laborers to Sri Lanka. So the Sri Lankan Tamils are divided into two: 13% native Sri Lankan Tamils and 5% Indian Tamils. This is same as Belgium. दोनों कंट्रीज में बराबर प्रॉब्लम हो गई. उधर भी एक लैंग्वेज स्पीकर्स मेजॉरिटी में है डच और फ्रेंच माइनॉरिटी में है. श्रीलंका में भी हमने क्या समझा, कौन है मेजॉरिटी में? श्रीलंकन तमिल्स जो श्रीलंकन सिहिलास जो 74% है टोटल पॉपुलेशन का, और दूसरा लैंग्वेज ग्रुप है तमिलियंस का विच इज 13% ऑफ टोटल पॉपुलेशन. बट देयर इज another problem. Now what is this problem? All the people who are living in Belgium, most of them are Christians. So there is no religious diversity in Belgium. लेकिन ये religious diversity कहाँ पर है? श्रीलंका में. अब श्रीलंका में लैंग्वेज बेस पर तो डिवीजन है ही, लेकिन रिलीजियस बेस पर भी डिवीजन है. Most of the Sihila speaking people, they are either Buddhist, they follow Buddhism, while most of the Tamils, they are either Hindus or Muslims. So तीन religion हो गए यहाँ पर, Buddhism, Hindus and Muslims. And of course, there is a small percent of Christians are also there. So the difference between Belgium and Sri Lanka is, Belgium सिर्फ किस बेस पर डिफ्रेंशिएट कर रहा है पॉपुलेशन में? लैंग्वेज बेस पर. लेकिन इन श्रीलंका along with language difference there is also religious difference. Now this is the problem of two countries that we have studied here. Now what is the problem? That who will form the government? Belgium in whole country, Dutch always form the government because they are in majority and French are in minority. But when government is formed in Brussels, it's always the French speaking community that forms the government and Dutch never form the government in Brussels. Now the same problem is in Sri Lanka also, that it's always the Sihilas who forms the government. And if you can see in the map below of Sri Lanka, there is some orange color, blue color and brown color. So they are the yellow color, that is of Sehlas, and the orange color is for Tamils. So now let's see how power sharing is done in these countries. Now first we'll take the problem of Sri Lanka. The topic you can read there is majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. Now, do you know what is the meaning of majority? Majority means 50 plus. The number 50 plus is majority, and the number that is less than 50 comes to minority. Okay. Who has majority in Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka में किसकी majority है? Sehlas की. And the rest are in minority. ठीक है? Now let's see what happens in Sri Lanka. India became independent in 1947 and Sri Lanka became independent in 1948. एक ही साल का difference है, कोई बहुत ज़्यादा difference नहीं है. Like India opted for democracy, Sri Lanka ने भी अपनी कौन सी form of government बनाई? Democracy. And again, I'm repeating, whoever is in majority forms the government in democracy. तो अब बताओ मुझे श्रीलंका में किसकी मेजॉरिटी है? सहलास की. तो जब वहाँ इलेक्शंस हुए, किसने गवर्नमेंट बनाई? सहलास ने गवर्नमेंट बनाई. डेमोक्रेसी में जितनी इम्पोर्टेंस मेजॉरिटी की है उतनी ही माइनॉरिटीज़ की. लेकिन अब ये कंट्रीज़ पर डिपेंड करता है कि वो इस प्रॉब्लम से कैसे डील करते हैं. पहले हम समझेंगे श्रीलंका के बारे में. श्रीलंका में किसकी मेजॉरिटी है? सहलास की. सो व्हेनेवर इलेक्शंस आर हेल्ड इन श्रीलंका, इट्स ऑलवेज द सहलास हु फॉर्म द गवर्नमेंट. सो आफ्टर making a government in Sri Lanka, the Sehla people or the Sehla majority, they adopted certain majoritarian measures. Now what does this term majoritarianism means? It means that the majority community rules the country in such a way they want. अपनी मन मर्जी से rules बनाते हैं. मेजॉरिटी अपने हिसाब से रूल्स बनाए, दैट इज नोन एज मेजॉरिटेरियनिज्म. सो व्हेन सहलास मेड गवर्नमेंट इन श्रीलंका, they carried out certain measures to establish majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. Now what were these majoritarian measures? In the year 1956, the Sehla government in Sri Lanka passed an act and they recognize Sehla as the national language or the official language of Sri Lanka. Now Sri Lanka has one more language speaking community. Which one is that? The Tamils. लेकिन official language किसको बना दिया गया? Sehlas, Sehli language को. So this was the first measure. Second thing the government did was carrying out a preferential policy in appointing people to various jobs. Whether a person is appointed for a government job or any university position or a lecturer or a teacher, whenever any government appointment was done, preference was given to Sehlas in comparison to Tamils. तमिल अगर ज़्यादा क्वालिफाइड होगा, फिर भी जॉब में प्रेफरेंस किसको दिया जाता था? सहलास को दिया जाता था. This was the second measure. And the third measure that the Sehla government carried out was declaring Buddhism as the national religion. Now remember, when we were reading about the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka, not only there was language difference, but there was religious difference also. Sri Lankan population कौन कौन से religion follow करती है? Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and even Christians. So, but the government passed an act and declared Buddhism as the state or the official religion. Now it means that citizens have to follow Buddhism. Now what about the followers of Hinduism, Islam and Christians? So these three majoritarian measures created dissatisfaction among the Tamils. Now because these government measures were declared by the government one after the other, there was a feeling of alienation among the Tamils. वो अपने आप को गवर्नमेंट का हिस्सा नहीं महसूस करते थे, या हम कहें देश में उनकी कंडीशन बिल्कुल अलग थलग हो गई थी, क्योंकि उनके फेवर में तो कोई डिसीजन लिया ही नहीं गया. रिलीजन, ऑफिशियल रिलीजन बना तो बुद्धिज्म, जो कि सहलाज का था. लैंग्वेज अगर कोई बनी ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज, दैट वाज सेहला लैंग्वेज. एंड इवन while appointing in the jobs, preference was given to Sehlaz. So the Tamils, they felt alienated. अलग महसूस करते थे अपने आप को. Now they also started forming political parties and putting up their issues in front of the Sehla leaders. But because Sehlaz are in majority, so they avoided the problems of Tamils. The Tamils felt that the constitution and the government are not giving them equal rights. याद है बच्चों, 9th क्लास में आपने लास्ट लेसन पढ़ा था अबाउट फंडामेंटल राइट्स, और उस फंडामेंटल राइट्स में जो सबसे पहला राइट है जो जनरली हर कंट्री के सिटीजन को दिया जाता है, वो होता है राइट टू इक्वालिटी. Another important right that is given to the citizens in a democracy, that is political right. याद है political right का मतलब क्या है? Right to contest election and right to give vote. That is also on the basis of universal adult franchise. हाँ, ये 9th में पढ़ा हुआ है तो याद होगा. Now what happens in Sri Lanka is Tamils are not given equal political rights. उनके खिलाफ बहुत ज़्यादा भेदभाव हो रहा है. क्वालिफाइड होने के बाद भी उन्हें जॉब्स नहीं दिए जा रहे हैं, और जो भी डेवलपमेंट की अपॉर्चुनिटी हो सकती है वो उन्हें इग्नोर की जा रही. As a result, what happened? There was serious tension between the Sehla community and the Tamil community. दोनों के बीच में tensions बढ़ गए. Now the Sri Lankan Tamils, they started forming their own political parties and struggling to get their rights from the government. The various demands that were put forward by the Tamils. The first one was the most important, to declare Tamil also as an official language. To give religious autonomy. What is religious autonomy? Freedom and equality of opportunities in securing education and jobs. जिन एरियाज में तमिल्स की मेजॉरिटी थी, जैसा कि मैप में हमने देखा था, जो नॉर्थ और ईस्ट का पार्ट था, वहाँ पर तमिल्स मेजॉरिटी में थे. सो द तमिल पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज डिमांडेड कि जहाँ हमारी मेजॉरिटी है वहाँ हमें फ्रीडम दी जाए, रिलीजियस ऑटोनॉमी दी जाए, सो दैट वी कैन फॉर्म आवर ओन गवर्नमेंट, और एजुकेशन और जॉब्स में भी हमें इक्वालिटी दी जाए. These were the various demands put forward by Tamils. But because Sehlas were in majority, so they ignored these demands of Tamils. In 1980s, the Tamil formed various political parties and very strongly started demanding a separate Tamil Illam. Illam means state. the areas, that is the north and east, they wanted to form a separate Tamil state where they can form the government. So these were the various demands of Tamils. But Sehlas continuously ignored these demands. Now what happened over the years, there was a distrust among these two communities. The Tamils were again and again demanding a separate state for them, but the Sehla government, because they were in majority, so they ignored these demands of Tamil. So as a result, what happened? There was a civil war. What is civil war, children? War between two groups within the country. One side is government and one side is some other group. So there was war, means really war. बकायदा युद्ध हुआ श्रीलंका में, जैसा कि जनरली वॉर्स में होता है. एंड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ द वॉर, which can be the result of any war, thousands and thousands of people of both the Sehla community and the Tamil community, they were killed. Thousands of civilians were killed. Thousands of people were killed. Many Tamil families, they left Sri Lanka and they came to India as refugees to Tamil Nadu. So Sri Lanka had a civil war. Even being a democratic country, what I meant to say is, democracy होने के बावजूद उस कंट्री में सिविल वॉर हुआ, बिकॉज जो मेजॉरिटी कम्युनिटी है, दैट इज सेहलास, दे रिफ्यूज्ड टू शेयर पावर विथ तमिल्स. सो दिस इज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ पावर शेयरिंग. We are talking about two countries, Belgium and Sri Lanka. We read about Sri Lanka, how the government refused to share power with another community, and what happened as a result? There was a civil war in the country. So I hope you understand what we read today. The two example of two countries and having same problem. But how one country, that is Sri Lanka, dealt with that problem. श्रीलंका की गवर्नमेंट ने उस प्रॉब्लम को कैसे फेस किया? नहीं सही तरीके से फेस किया, पावर शेयरिंग करने से मना कर दिया. एंड व्हाट हैपेंड एज अ रिजल्ट? देयर वाज अ सिविल वॉर इन द कंट्री. I hope you understand what I taught today. So we stop our today's class with the end of the problem of Sri Lanka. Thank you.